State and county agencies, employers in California, when they AWOL separate an employee and they get sued by that employee for wrongful termination, discrimination, or retaliation, they love to argue, when they defend their case, they love to argue, among other things, that this wasn't really a firing, but it was, quote unquote, an automatic resignation under the government code, and that that action was a non-punitive action, and the employee who was AWOL separated was free to reapply and work with them or with any other agency within that county or within the state at any time. And therefore, they say that employee should not be entitled to the wages loss that he is claiming, because if he started applying for a job as soon as possible after he was AWOL separated, he wouldn't have had all these losses. Most of the time, this is not true, and this is not an excuse. Most of the time, an employee who was AWOL separated, so to speak, cannot get a job. He could apply, and either he wouldn't get interviews, or he would get interviews and he would get rejected over and over. That is just the reality. However, simply assuming that is not enough. To make your case, your AWOL termination case, strategically stronger, you got to take that argument away from the employer by actually applying for those jobs as soon as you can after you were AWOL separated. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you were on disability and you are providing disability notes for your injury or for any other serious condition. You're providing medical notes to your employer, and one day they dropped the ball, they did not see your note or did not calculate your leave correctly, and they ended up AWOL separating you. And then they say, look, you could have applied to work with us as soon as you felt better, as soon as your disability was over, even if we're the ones who screwed it up. Because you didn't do it, you're not entitled to all these damages that you're claiming. But what if you actually started applying for jobs as soon as you were able, as soon as you were released to return to work, with restrictions or without restrictions? If you do that, and if you can show when the time comes that you applied for 10, 20, 30 open positions and nobody got back to you, nobody interviewed you, or somebody interviewed you but you never got a job offer, how will the employer be able to say then that that action on their part was not punitive? They wouldn't be able to. So this will make your case, your AWOL case, much stronger, because you will be able to show that that quote-unquote non-punitive action was actually punitive, especially if you work for that agency, for the state or the county for many years. You could come out and say, are you really telling me that after 10, 15, 20 years of working here, it was a non-punitive separation? If I came back, applied for all these jobs and nobody hired me, who is more qualified than me? Who is known better than me here after all these years? So, if you have an AWOL separation case, start applying for jobs as soon as possible, as soon as you're able to return to work, especially in the disability case. And you have nothing to lose. If somebody gets back to you, if somebody interviews you and they offer you a job, great. You go back to work. And if they don't, it will make your AWOL case stronger. Thank you.